I never told anyone this. Not my therapist, not my sister, not the priest who held my hand at the cemetery. Because the moment I try to explain it, it stops sounding like grief and starts sounding like something else entirely. My mother died on a Thursday. Specifically, it was 11:14 in the morning in room 308 of St. Catherine's Medical Center, with the blinds half open and a soap opera playing on the TV that nobody was watching. I remember the soap opera. I remember the exact angle of the light on her hands. I remember the sound the heart monitor made when it stopped, not the dramatic flatline from movies, just a small, tired beep that faded into silence. I remember all of it because I was there. I held her hand until it went cold. And then I sat in that chair for another 40 minutes because I didn't know how to stand up and walk out of the room and become a person whose mother was dead. The funeral was on a Sunday. Open casket, her blue dress, the one she wore to my college graduation, gardenias, because she always said roses were for people who weren't paying attention. There were maybe 60 people there, cousins I hadn't seen in years, her friends from the library book club, a man in a gray suit I didn't recognize who cried harder than anyone, stood at the front and shook hands and said, "Thank you for coming over and over until the words lost meaning." My phone was in my purse. Silenced. The ceremony started at 2 p.m. At 2:17, I felt my phone vibrate. I ignored it. At 2:19, it vibrated again. And then again at 2:21, I told myself it was my aunt. She'd been calling all week, worried about logistics, about the reception, about whether we had enough food. I told myself I'd check after the burial, when the crowd had thinned and my sister was talking to the priest and I was standing alone between two oak trees trying to remember how to breathe. I took out my phone. 3 missed calls, all from the same number, my mother's number. I stood there for a long time. The rational explanation wrote itself immediately. Someone had her phone. Her neighbor, maybe. Or my cousin Daniel, who was handling her affairs. Someone had picked up her phone and tried to call me without thinking. Or to let me know they were at her apartment. Or for any one of 100 ordinary reasons that had nothing to do with anything impossible. That was the explanation. I believed it for approximately 4 seconds. Then I called back. It rang 6 times. I counted. 6 rings. And then her voicemail. "Hi, you've reached Maria. I'm not available right now, but leave me a message and I'll call you back. Have a good day." Her voice. Her actual voice, recorded sometime years ago, cheerful and slightly too loud the way she always was on the phone. And I had to sit down on the cold ground right there between the oak trees because my legs stopped working. I didn't leave a message. I hung up, and I called my cousin Daniel. He picked up on the second ring. He was at the reception already, he said. Did I need a ride? I asked him if he had my mother's phone. No, he said. Why? I asked if anyone did. If anyone had been in her apartment that afternoon. He went quiet for a moment. I don't think so, he said. The neighbor has the key, but she's here. I can see her right now. Why? What happened? I told him nothing happened. I said I'd see him at the reception. I never found the phone. I went to her apartment the following week to start going through her things, and I looked everywhere. In her purse, on the nightstand, in the kitchen drawer where she kept chargers and rubber bands and things that didn't have a place. I went through every room. The phone was not there. I called her number again, standing in her living room with the cat watching me from the couch, straight, to voicemail this time. Her voice again. Have a good day. The carrier told me the account had been inactive since the day she was admitted to the hospital, 3 weeks before she died. The phone hadn't made or received any calls. It hadn't connected to a tower. As far as their system was concerned, the device had been offline for a month. I showed the woman at the counter my call log. 3 incoming calls, 2:17, 2:19, 2:21. She looked at it for a long time. That's not possible, she said. I know, I told her. I've thought about this every day for 2 years. Some nights I decide it was a glitch. Phones do strange things, carriers make errors. There are explanations I don't have the technical knowledge to understand. Some nights I think she called to say goodbye. Some nights I think she called because she was at her own funeral and she saw that soap opera was still playing in room 308 and she wanted to tell someone. Don't know which version is worse. What I do know is this: I never called that number again after the day at the cemetery. I told myself it was because I didn't want to hear her voicemail anymore. But the real truth I haven't told my therapist or my sister or the priest, is that I was afraid someone would pick up, and I was more afraid of what I would say. To this day, I don't know what happened, but sometimes, late at night, I check my call log just to make sure there isn't a fourth.